We are here at the AutoFi booth, NADA 2026. I'm with Kevin Singerman, the CEO of AutoFi, and my new pal, Will from Oakes Auto. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm curious to know, where there's a lot of talk about the market flattening and what does that mean for car buying. From your vantage point, what is your experience in how we really connect the online experience to the offline experience so that it's faster, easier, and more accessible?
So, thanks for having us today. Yeah, I think really the big unlock in the industry is leveraging all the money and effort that's been spent on creating a great consumer buying experience and then tying that with an in-store sales experience. Because ultimately, what have we found through all the e-commerce adoption in the past 10 years? 95% of car deals still happen in the store, right? So the hard part is connecting both worlds, and that's where true transformation can really happen, where you have a customer-centric sales experience, they trust the process, they feel like they're part of it versus like it's actually happening to them. And Will and what his group is doing is a great example of how they're employing that to run a better business.
I love it. I mean, it's the fulfillment of a promise made online into the real world experience, and that's when the magic really happens. From your seat, how does that play out in real life? What are you seeing from real guests in your store, real car shoppers who are going through that journey, utilizing the tools and resources available to you, namely AutoFi, in order to accelerate that experience or speed up the human connection of it?
Well, so there's several things that we try to do that AutoFi helps us facilitate. Number one, our goal is when it comes, and get down to the simples of it. Most of this business is happening on the showroom still. And when a customer comes back from a test drive, we've heard, like, I'm 1,000 years old, so since 1996, I heard their emotions are crashing as soon as they get back from the test drive, and the longer it takes you to get numbers in front of them, the worse the reaction is going to be. So what AutoFi allows us to do is set in our standards and our goals and our pricing and how we want everything presented consistently every time. And so when a salesperson comes back from a test drive, we're giving them our little thing is, this is an estimate, but we want it to be the most accurate estimate that we can give for you. We verify a couple things, and then honestly, we're very transparent, but our initial close is the oldest version of a Foursquare in the world. Your payment is $500 a month with $5,000 down for 60 months. Is this what you would like to do? So I'm walking through that because up to that point, AutoFi does a lot of really cool things, and it makes it really quick. But the one thing, since we don't have a lot of time, that I think is very important, and the thing that makes it stand out to us is their lender relationships, because, and everybody gets freaked out about this, and so I don't, but what I'm telling you is the way that they can build my guardrails in, okay, I want this kind of customer to go to this, I want a manager to look at it before this happens, and what it's allowing my managers to do is to focus on that 10 to 15 to 20% of the toughest business, and then my easy, well-qualified customers, my salespeople are handling all that. Those 800 credit scores that do not want to wait 2 hours for a traditional finance process are not doing that. And so that's helping my CSI, it's helping me to sell more cars per salesperson, and I mean that, I don't mean to do just a whole AutoFi pitch. That piece, instead of even 10 to 15 minutes to get an approval back, which would be fast in a traditional setting, when you're looking at 90 seconds and then lender branded approvals come back, it is so integral into the way we do business. And all the other controls and all the profit maximizing and everything that you would ever want, we still have happening on the back end of that. We're just closing our car deals faster. And with that kind of transparency and speed, we have found it typically AutoFi is actually closing at more profitable deals than my managers were after spending an hour analyzing everything.
That's fantastic.
I think Will's figured out, I think sort of every product company is trying to find a secret that people don't understand and really can unlock. And I think, the industry has really struggled around bringing digital adoption to the store.
Right.
Why is that? Losing control of the deal, right? And that's what people think is going to happen if you're just going to click on 5 buttons and buy a vehicle online, right?
Yes.
So how do you marry both worlds of I can still make my customer feel empowered, feel part of the process, look at numbers on a screen that I trust versus a piece of paper, which creates antagonism and friction in like the process.
Right.
But at the same time, like the sales managers and the philosophy of the store can like establish guardrails, like, hey, like any deal that sort of happens here, within these parameters with my customer and salesperson, like we make good money and the customer's happy, right? And I think that's really the partnership that we've been able to work together.
Well, I love it. You've said things that I really care about. And by the way, I think I said this to you before we did the interview. I've purchased a car using AutoFi, which is why I always love coming back to this booth to learn about transparency and see how it actually plays out in the real world. I think you guys are doing something incredible. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.